Hello there, my name is Rita and I'm the cooking nurse. Welcome back to this channel. If it's your first time here, you're very much welcome. Feel at home. We are lively here. We cook, we eat, we laugh, we just live. Yeah. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make granola, but before I show you, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it, and also when you feel called to, please make sure to subscribe, be part of this family, keep your notification bell on so that you don't miss any of the newest uploads that we're going to be putting out henceforth. So we're going to get started. Granola is basically it got famous for being a healthy option on breakfast in the 19th century. It is very filled with fiber, both soluble and insoluble, which makes it perfect for breakfast because it keeps you full for long. For people who are watching or trying to maintain their weight, keep a good health, gut health, then granola is the perfect thing. The benefit of making it at home is that you control what goes in, because as much as it's healthy, it can also not be, depending on how much sugar goes in or whatever ingredients are chosen to be used. It's basically made with rolled oats. We have some nuts. So oats are almost the main ingredient, and then we have nuts. We are going to be using almonds, cashew nuts, some peanuts. These ones are locally grown, and some flax seeds. So you can also add in some seeds. So I have some flax seeds and I have some chia seeds, and I also have a sweetener, which is dried raisins. I'll also be adding in some coconut shreds or desiccated coconut. So all we need are those, and then of course we have the sweetener, which is honey. I'm not using a lot of it. And then we also need some olive oil and some cinnamon for the flavor. If you don't want, you can leave it. So what we are going to do right now is assemble. We are going to start by pouring in our oats into the bowl, and then we will go in with our almonds. I'm going to roughly chop these almonds so that they don't just go in as a whole like this. So I'm just going to chop them to make it easy for them to roast, and also easy for me or anyone else who's going to enjoy this granola to chew through. So you can measure your granola ingredients. I'm making it at home, so pretty much I'm winging the ingredients because I know the parts I like more. So if I want more nuts, I add in more nuts. If I don't, I don't. Like, I don't add in. I was expecting a delivery of walnuts, but unfortunately it hasn't come, and I am out of granola. So I figured I could just make with the nuts that I already have in the house. But if you have pecans, if you have almonds, if you have walnuts, please go on ahead and use all of them, because they, come through. The benefits are incredible. If you have children who love yogurt in the morning, if you love oats, you can also use it to garnish things like ice cream. So making it at home just gives you the liberty to know what goes into your granola. So now we are going to also chop the cashew nuts into almost the same biteable sizes. I am using raw cashew nuts. You can use the roasted ones. It's up to you. I don't use the roasted ones because I don't have them, but if I wanted to roast them, I would have roasted them. And then the other thing is, when you use the roasted ones in here, they are already roasted, so you cannot double roast them. Chances of them burning are very high, so you need to also be cautious about that. All the cashews are also chopped. The other thing is, we want to match the size of the rolled oats. So the cashews are chopped. We are going to get our jar close to me, and then I'm going to add in my peanuts. I'll go in with I don't like cinnamon that much, but it gives it a good flavor. So I'm going to go in with half a teaspoon of cinnamon. I am going to go in with about 1 to 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. This is going to work as the binder. I am also going to put a written recipe in the description box, so please make sure to check the description box out. For the sweetener or binder, I'm using some honey. I'm actually going to use all of this honey in here, so let me not measure. I'm going to wing it. But it's about 1.5 tablespoons because it was getting done also. And you need to make sure you're using good ingredients, pure honey, not sugar syrup, for people who are trying to maybe watch their weight and health and things like that. So once the honey is in, the raisins and the coconut flakes or desiccated coconut go in last. You cannot roast them in the oven because the raisins are going to burn. We are roasting this at high heat. The raisins will burn and they will become bitter. But I'm also going to add in about 1/3 cup of flax seeds. Yeah, so like this, I'm going to add those ones in. The chia seeds also are not going in because of their size. They can easily burn. I'm going to get my spatula and I'm going to go in and make sure to mix this properly and bring it together. I am not adding in a lot of sweetener because I already have the raisins. They are going to work as the sweetener. And also when I am, this is what I was talking about. When you make things at home, you get to control what goes in. I don't like my granola so sweet because the raisins usually come through. And I told my friend the other day I'm not a sweet tooth, and she laughed. She's like, "Oh, these days we ate ice cream. How can you tell me you don't like sweet things?" Yes, Debs, I don't. I don't like sweet things. I just eat them to make you happy. Anyways, if you want it more sweet, you can use maple syrup, you can use honey. Sometimes even people put in caramel or whatever sweetener they have available. So now, after coating these together or mixing them together, we are going to transfer them to a baking tray and put into our preheated oven. So I'm going to be using this baking tray, which I'm going to line with the parchment paper. The parchment paper is going to help me easily pour the granola into the pan. So that is one reason. And then the other, I don't have to wash the dish. Genius, right? So I'm going to put my parchment paper in here. It looks messy, but it's gonna work. And then I'm going to get my granola and pour it in here. So pour all of it into the baking tray. Make sure nothing stays, okay? So you want to put everything into the tray and then spread it so that you increase the surface area to which the heat is going to be able to go through. And then while this is baking, we are going to go in again about 10 minutes into and mix it up so that everything here gets roasted evenly. Just like this. Our oven has been heating now for about 20 minutes, so let's just put it in and wait a little bit longer. 10 minutes, we mix again and then we remove and we are good to go. Tomorrow's breakfast is sorted. Okay, so as usual, as the rules are, You need to make sure to place the tray or the baking tray in the middle of the oven so that the heat distribution is good. And close, and then set the timer. We are putting it at 30 minutes. I'm going to check again at 10 minutes and then at 10 minutes to just mix in and make sure everything is well roasted. So it's been about 8 minutes. We are going to open and mix our nuts and oats together. It smells so good. That is the only reason I add cinnamon. It gives it more character. So after turning it around, making sure the nuts are not burning and they are well mixed, we are going to close again and wait for another 10 minutes. So our granola has been in here for about 30 minutes and it's ready from the color. So we are going to put it here and let it cool a little bit. But while it's cooling, I am going to add in some desiccated coconut. I am going to go in with some chia seeds. And I will also add in raisins. So these are supposed to be my sweeteners. That is why I am generous. And then the coconut also takes the flavor slightly higher than the cinnamon could ever. So I'm just going to toss this around. The coconut is optional. You can do without it. But I want the heat as it's leaving to help the new flavors and the old flavors to meld perfectly well. You can see how the coconut has hugged the raisins, so they will not sink, and each bite will have at least a little bit of coconut and a little bit of sweetness from the dried fruits. You can use actually any fruits, I think, as long as you have them. Who will stop you? No one. So we are going to let this cool down, and then we'll transfer it into the jar. You need to keep it in an airtight container so that it stays crunchy and doesn't absorb the heat, which is going to make it soggy and lead to it getting spoiled real quick. And that also is going to come in at the temperature that you keep it. So you want to let it first cool completely before putting it in any jars for storage. It can stay on the shelf for about 6 months stable, but if there's moisture introduced in it, it can go bad quickly. So you can keep it in the fridge if you're not sure. Yeah. So there we are. Wait for this to cool, but meanwhile, so crunchy. Can't wait for tomorrow's breakfast. So our granola has cooled down, and the reason I use the parchment paper is so that I could transfer it down. So I'm just going to hold it gently and then put it into the storage where I intend for it to be for longer. This is going to require some skill. I got it. So this is our granola and it's done. Listen to that, the crunch. So airtight, and then we put it aside. But I wanted to do for you guys a simple demonstration. I have some homemade yogurt here and a glass. I'm going to leave this in the fridge until tomorrow because it's already late. Okay. So I'm going to pour in some homemade yogurt. I'm going to do a video about this just in case you're about to ask me how, because look how thick it is. So cover this, put it back in the fridge. So I would get our just made granola and get a few scoops onto my yogurt. And that, my friend, is breakfast full of fiber, full of protein, and full of goodness. It's super delicious. All you have to do is go in with a spoon, scoop out something, and enjoy. The crunch. Also me saying, I'm not going to eat this until tomorrow. I lied. I'm going to label my jar with the word granola and put their heart just to show them that I made it with love. I got these stickers from Urban Households, by the way. So if you're into making things at home, you can go on ahead and get some for yourself. And just like that, anyone can now go on ahead and have a breakfast they love with the right ingredients. Thank you so much for watching up until this time. If you've been with me since the beginning of the chopping of the nuts, I really appreciate. If you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure to, and share this video. Give us a like and a comment if you don't mind. And I hope you make yourself some granola, and for the whole family. Ciao, happy breakfast. Are you millennial if you don't do the peace sign? Like, what peace are we always trying to give? Anyways, bye. Let me cover this and put it in the fridge for tomorrow. Goes on ahead to eat it.